My answers have not changed. I've always told the truth, and I have answered every question as I understood them to the best of my recollection, as I will continue to do today. But I will not accept and reject accusations that I have ever lied. That is a lie. Let me be clear. I have at all times conducted myself honorably and in a manner consistent with the high standards and responsibilities of the Office of Attorney General, which I revere. I spent 15 years in that department. I love that department. I honor that department and will do my dead level best to be worthy of your Attorney General.
Ladies and gentlemen, coming up, the accelerated breakup of the EU is now happening as 5 nations refuse to let the EU army come in and occupy them. Oh, countries want to leave the EU? We have this secret army we've been building for 5 years, 6 years, and it's just now going to roll in. And people are like, no, you're not. So it's accelerating the breakup as they become completely, not just authoritarian, but military conquest. That's coming up. We've got accelerated Democrat professors and others, pundits, talk show hosts, TV hosts, mainstream anchors. Every day I see 7 or 8 articles with different prominent people saying whites are inherently evil, need to be exterminated, need to not have any babies, are the reason there's problems, you're inherently evil. The left has gone completely Nazi. And it's mainly white people leading it saying whites are inherently evil. This is truly a mentally ill group of people trying to double down on their insanity. But first, I want to play Attorney General Jeff Sessions' opening speech today when he was there to testify about just the Justice Department in general. It soon turned into a fiasco with Nadler and others going, you got caught lying about Papadopoulos. And what he said in some meeting where Papadopoulos testified, he vaguely in some meeting mentioned, hey, I might travel to Russia and reach out, when he was just some unpaid person of dozens and dozens that came through. And Sessions says, yeah, now that I read about the paper, I guess he might have said that at the meeting. And they're like, oh, we got you, you're a liar. While they're the ones up to their eyeballs with uranium and secret meetings and illegal servers. It just goes on and on. So here is his opening testimony.
I'd like to address the false charges made about my previous testimony. My answers have not changed. I've always told the truth, and I have answered every question as I understood them to the best of my recollection, as I will continue to do today. I would like to address recent news reports regarding meetings during the campaign attended by George Papadopoulos and Carter Page, among others. Frankly, I had no recollection of this meeting until I saw these news reports. I do now recall that the March 2016 meeting at the Trump Hotel that Mr. Papadopoulos attended, but I have no clear recollection of the details of what he said at that meeting. After reading his account, and to the best of my recollection, I believe that I wanted to make clear to him that he was not authorized to represent the campaign with the Russian government or any other foreign government for that matter. But I did not recall this event, which occurred 18 months before my testimony of a few weeks ago. And I would gladly have reported it had I remembered it, because I pushed back against his suggestion that I thought may have been improper. As for Mr. Page, while I do not challenge his recollection, I have no memory of his presence at a dinner at the Capitol Hill Club or any passing conversation he may have had with me as he left the dinner. All you have been in campaigns, let me just suggest, but most of you have not participated in a presidential campaign, and none of you had a part in the Trump campaign. And it was a brilliant campaign, I think, in many ways, but it was a form of chaos every day from day one. We traveled sometimes to several places in one day. Sleep was in short supply, and I was still a full-time senator with a very full schedule. During this year, I've spent close to 20 hours testifying before Congress, before today. I have been asked to remember details from a year ago, such as who I saw on what day, in what meeting, and who said what to when. In all of my testimony, I can only do my best to answer your questions as I understand them and to the best of my memory. But I will not accept and reject accusations that I have ever lied. That is a lie. Let me be clear. I have at all times conducted myself honorably and in a manner consistent with the high standards and responsibilities of the Office of Attorney General, which I revere. I spent 15 years in that department. I love that department. I honor that department and will do my dead level best to be worthy of your Attorney General. So as I said before, my story has never changed. I've always told the truth, and I've answered every question to the best of my recollection, and I will continue to do so today. With that, Mr. Chairman, I'm honored to take your questions.
Now, when you remember that it's the Clintons in bed with the Russians, hundreds of millions of dollars we now learn, Mueller on tarmacs with bagmen with weapons-grade uranium, Mueller in 10 companies at least where he invests no money but gets millions back, totally illegal, declaring none of this, just involved in stuff that is over the top, communist Chinese, sold out to the Islamicists, sold out to Saudi Arabia. I mean, Mueller's a literal bagman for the Clintons. Killed investigations the FBI had into Uranium One, allowed it to go forward with Congress. This was all in the news years ago. And then they got Sessions going, well, we caught you when you were senator last year. You met with the Russian ambassador twice. He said, yeah, I said that. That's what you do when you're on a head of a committee. Pelosi met with him 30-something times. They come by your office. What they do, constituents come by your office. And again, they prey on the public not knowing how this stuff works to just keep acting like there's something going on there. Oh, you know, Donald Jr. tried to find dirt on Hillary. That means he's a Russian agent. Or Donald Jr. tried to get dirt from WikiLeaks. I sent WikiLeaks a bunch of emails, my producer, saying, please come on. Please give us the emails. That's what the news did. They take normal behavior and turn it into something bad. But just a few minutes ago, I saw this montage with Fox News even acting like they had just caught Sessions doing something. I mean, that's how crazy it is. And you watch the senators all staring at Sessions like he's done something terrible in the hearing. It is just crazy. Absolutely crazy, because they're running scared. They're the ones that did it. Let's play part of that clip.
On Trump's campaign's possible contacts with Russia. In the past, Sessions denied he knew anything about contact with Russia. But in recent weeks, former Trump campaign foreign policy advisor George Papadopoulos told prosecutors he raised the idea of a Trump-Putin meeting during a meeting Sessions attended. And another foreign policy aide, Carter Page, told House investigators he had mentioned to Sessions he was taking a trip to Moscow. Sessions saying in his opening statements he always told the truth in the past and that he answered questions as best as he understood them at that time. But lawmakers with plenty of new questions for him today.
All right, when we come back, we're going to go to those because, again, you heard, like, ooh, he got caught. And you read the FBI affidavit and the indictment and stuff of Manafort and others. It's all, Papadopoulos keeps coming in and saying, hey, meet with the Russians. Like, get out of here. Clearly a setup. I mean, it's so pathetic. There's nothing there. They're so desperate.
So let's try and correct the earlier testimony now for the record. Yes or no? Did you chair the March 31st, 2016 meeting of the National Security Advisory Committee?
I did chair that meeting.
Thank you. Yes or no, did Mr. Papadopoulos mention his outreach to the Russian government during that meeting?
He made some comment to that effect,
yes.
As I remember after having read it in the newspaper.
I asked for yes or no. I don't have time.
Yes, all right.
I cannot imagine your memory would fail you so much. But moving on, do you want to admit under oath that you did not tell the truth or misrepresented, or do you want to correct your testimony right now?
So did he clarify those previous comments that he made under oath, Jonah?
I'm sure the Democrats will think not. I think that his supporters will think probably. I'm sort of in the gray area about all this. I think he got himself into some trouble way back when by...
Okay, let's stop right there. You want to know why I'm playing clips of Fox News? I could just play this off C-SPAN. We have the clips. I'm doing it so you can see even Fox News. Last segment I played, the lady intro it. I came back into this segment, showed how they outroed it, and then it just went on, acting like Sessions has done something bad, and then almost no coverage, even on Fox, of Uranium One, of Mueller the bagman, of all the companies Mueller's in, of all the calls for Trump to have the Attorney General create a special prosecutor for the Clintons, for Mueller. That is the answer. We have them open and shut, but they knew how to start the investigation first to make it look like if Trump retaliated, he'd retaliated for political purposes, not for justice. Everybody played Mr. Nice Guy. I told President-elect Trump, and I told Trump when he was president, I said, Mr. President, they're going to tell you they're going to make deals and back off and stop what they've done. They're never going to stop until you're destroyed because of what you stand for. And if you don't start prosecuting them day one for the crimes they've committed, they are never going to rest till they have overthrown you and the American people and the electoral process. I said, sir, they're already talking about having new elections and suspending the last election that elected you and getting rid of the members of Congress that are Republican who just got elected and having Homeland Security run the elections and totally federalize it because Obama had just signed that executive order when Trump was president-elect. He said, I know about that. I know about that. We're looking into it. And he goes, yeah, you know, all the illegals voting. It's incredible. And dead people. It's incredible what the experts tell me. And I said, sir, I'm not talking about the illegals voting. Obama signed an executive order to federalize all 50 states' elections. At that time, 15 attorney generals had written letters to Trump, president-elect, and to Obama. Later, it was unanimous a month later, saying, please reverse this. All 50 attorney generals have said this is the end of the federalist system and a total federal takeover of the elections like Venezuela. And I was the first to raise the alarm just because I'm not stupid. I saw the executive order. We just put it on screen. Then Obama did another executive order establishing a ministry of truth saying that InfoWars, Breitbart, and conservative media is Russian and directing the Central Intelligence Agency to counter us by any means necessary. You can go read the executive order he signed. And by the way, that was an executive order that accompanied the bill he signed in the Defense Authorization Act for 2017. We've taken Brain Force and made it Brain Force Plus. Now at 20% more in the bottle and an even more hardcore formula. You owe it to yourself to get these products. They really have worked for myself, my family. They have 5-star reviews by the thousands. InfoWarsLife.com.